Hi guys, how are you? I know, I haven't gotten to it yet. Hi everybody, how are you? How are you? How are you?
It's Friday.
Yeah, I thought Perry was going to say, listen, it is so much to try to get into. Freddie's running a little late, so hopefully he'll, he's working. Hopefully he'll join us because he has a lot of good information. Now, listen, we've uncovered last year how some of the housewives were using troll farms, okay? And everybody is saying that the quality of reality TV has gone down. It feels scripted. If you're a housewife, you get one girl to pick on, and then they go after everybody. You okay, Perry?
Oh yeah. I'm sorry, I was clicking something.
Okay, good. It's just gone down, and that's because these housewives and OWN network, all of them at this point, this is their livelihood. So they are willing to do any and everything to stay on the show. So we're going to let Freddie tell you about the housewives. I'm going to start a little bit with me and Perry. So you guys know that's been watching my channel, I have a stalker. Okay. And this stalker has been making video after video after video about me. He's getting a big push from the Melanators. Now, this whole Meldody thing is just gone way too far. This man is out of his mind. He's saying things like, me and Perry powed his house. We live in a whole different state. He's saying that Perry is giving him money for sex. It's crazy. It's crazy talk, but it's dangerous. This man came on Perry's channel. Now, I don't know if you guys realize this. Perry shut his channel down probably like a year now. It's been a long time. Yeah. He came on Perry's panel one time, and Perry was nice to him, and then he started acting crazy. He has a criminal past, and here he is. Hi, Freddie.
Hi, sorry I am late.
No, you're good. So I'm in the middle of telling everybody how these housewives now in OWN network, I wonder if it's all reality TV, are hiring these troll farms on Love and Martell's millimeters, and they're just bullying. They got this guy to start making videos about me, and he goes on and he just makes up lies. Just crazy stuff. I flew to his hometown and shot up his house.
Have anybody ever seen him? Not telling you to go and give him a view, because at the end of the day, that's what this is all about. And I learned my lesson the hard way from this. Being kind to people, trying to help them out, lift them up, when they down and out. Send somebody a super chat just to support their little channel and help them out. Then they want to turn it around. But
sorry about that.
These people come back and act like and make up these stories with no receipts. It's all kind of things he throw out there. Oh, Perry said this. Where is it at in writing? Where's the recording? Where's your receipts? I ain't never been to that damn state.
Can I just cut in and say, I think a lot of these people that have these opinions, they're the types that are these unemployed people that don't really have much of a life of their own, maybe some loner issues.
Yeah.
And so they think, oh, let's go for the big YouTubers or get involved in that because they're looking for some sort of relevancy, some form of purpose that they never got at school or college or that type of thing.
I don't know this man. Leave me alone. So I wanted to thank my writers and my peeps because you guys went in with full force, and I really appreciate that. I also want to thank YouTube because thank you, YouTube. Just thank you. And this is crazy, and all because, and people say, you're a bully. You bullied Mel. And every time I say, well, what did I do to her? It goes silent.
Right.
Nothing. I liked Martell.
And
so we'll get into that a little later. I want Freddie to get to his stuff first because these troll farms are getting out of hand. Did it start with Lisa Rinna, or she's just the first person we caught?
Well, if you look at what's been happening, it's believed that this Teresa stuff has been going on for the best part of 10 years, potentially, because what's happened is it's not been just using Instagram and TikTok as forms to favor Teresa Giudice and Jennifer Aydin. It's been articles, it's been Facebook, it's been those types of things. Now, allegedly, what the evidence seems to be is that these meetings have been orchestrated by Teresa Giudice.
What meetings? What meetings?
So Teresa's attorney, Jim Leonard, there's some evidence that's been online that seems to suggest that he's orchestrated meetings with basically Teresa fan accounts. So you might have heard of accounts like
Stop, Freddie. This troll farm or ruining people's personality has gotten so bad that they pulled in lawyers.
Well, it's not that they've pulled in. I mean, Teresa's used this Jim Leonard guy since she went to prison, if not before, but definitely in prison. But this Jim Leonard guy, he's very involved in Teresa's life. He's a good friend of hers. Allegedly, he's also her money manager. He sort of organizes Teresa's life. And he's been the one to sort of direct or work with Teresa and Louis and stuff to direct these fan accounts to put Teresa and the likes of Jennifer Aydin in a good light. So they're telling these people exactly what to say, how they should say it, who they should be going for, and things like that.
I am just blown away, and I have to keep the same attitude across the board. You can't be doing that, Teresa. You need to be fired.
I mean, I will say if both, and then of course Jennifer Aydin, I mentioned that a couple of weeks ago. She's obviously been sending the episodes, early releases, to some of these Bravo fans like RHONJ Obsessed. That's how he was able to showcase the first 7 minutes of it on his Instagram, is because Jennifer sent him the whole episode.
This is unheard of.
She sent this to other fan accounts as well that support her. Now, of course, you're not meant to do that. As a housewife, when you get it, you're meant to watch it and delete it straight away. So the fact that she circulated this to people, some people she's never even met face to face, is weird. And then Jennifer's done things like she bought a buggy for one of these bloggers that's got a special needs child as well. Like they gift people. Louis and Teresa allegedly took people out for lunch in Beverly Hills a couple of months ago. This is what they do. They might not necessarily be paying people by giving them, $2,000 a month, but they could be doing buying them stuff, taking them for lunches, getting them to meet other housewives, opening doors to get exclusives, that type of thing. This is how they pay them.
This is unacceptable. Unacceptable. Now, I know that first of all, I'm always going to pull for Andy Cohen and Carlos King. Let me explain really quickly what happened to Carlos King. So me and Perry, we were kind of mean to Carlos King. We thought that he didn't talk about his shows. Come to find out, the Melometers were going after Carlos King and reporting him to the network and just making life a living hell for him, to the point where he just tried to give it some distance. These greedy, that's what they are, reality TV stars. First of all, they're out of their minds. If you think you can control what people think about you, you're crazy. But to the extent that they're going through, the Melometers are the worst. They're way worse than Bravos. And they're ghetto with theirs. At least Teresa's got, lawyers and paying people for articles. It's disgusting. Jennifer Aydin, girl, I loved you. Now I gotta let you go. It's ugly. It causes drama, and it's dangerous to us bloggers. Because
I mean, there's evidence. I mean, I'm looking at texts that Jennifer has sent to people. Like, she's leaked the story about Danielle Cabral putting her makeup artists in a hotel like 40 minutes outside of Las Vegas when BravoCon was happening. Evidence that she's been sending messages about the clips. I see the evidence of messages where she basically basically asked why these people were ratting her out. She's called someone a pig, saying that she said, "You're a pig, I spit on you." She said that to someone when she got angry with them.
Freddie,
and the thing is that with this is we don't know the full reason of why these tree stumps have turned on Teresa and Jennifer. But from what I've been understanding, having messaged a couple of them to find out what's happening, is it's something that Jim Leonard's done or like tried to control them in a certain way. And they thought Teresa would basically back them up. And she's not done that.
I gotta let you go, Teresa. This is crazy. And if we don't start exposing it, Freddie, and pushing the networks and stuff like that, this will become the norm. So when you go on a reality TV show, you're gonna get a group of people to do your dirty work. It's disgusting. And we feel it as viewers. It feels staged. It doesn't feel natural anymore. Just so you don't get bad press. Perry, what are your thoughts? I see you talking.
I mean, like today, these reality shows have came like to be a beauty pageant. People do anything to be the top. It's not about the original show where, you're just showing a group of ladies or men or whatever, just hanging out, doing something, and showing us a different side of life that, people don't experience. But it's became basically like a soap opera.
Yeah.
Where, well, he ain't really going to go nowhere. He'll be back and he'll marry this girl. I mean, everything you can see, but they would do anything for this moment because most of them use these shows now to push their social media, start new businesses and stuff like that, which put their name out there. And they would do anything to get it out there by smearing somebody else's name, leaking all this kind of crap out. All of them has really went into a basket from
crazy
Beverly Hills, Housewives of Atlanta, Potomac.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
All of them is just bad at this point that it's no fun really watching it because
it's no fun watching.
Isn't real. It's neither you putting it on or just trying to expose somebody for your own gain.
Well, what I will say about this exposure, because I messaged TreyFab 2022, who was one of the former Trey Stumps, and that she was one of the people that leaked these things, and now she's one of the big people exposing it all. And she said to me on the message that we need to keep watching because there's still a lot more left still to be exposed. So this is far from over, and we're going to be seeing more and more about this. I think a lot of people have asked, why aren't Bravo saying anything? Why aren't they doing anything? I think the reason that Bravo aren't saying anything is this, in a way, is good for them for the minute because it's getting people pumped for Real Housewives of New Jersey. It's going to draw in the viewers. But I do think with this all stuff of Teresa and all these people being exposed, it has to now be discussed in the reunion. They can't get away with not talking about it. I think, but because of this, we could well be seeing some incredibly big casting changes. Not
I was
for this
just
coming
gonna
season, the one after.
I was going to say, what is Andy Cohen going to do about this? Because this is a problem.
He's going to deal with it. I think he's going to stay silent on the issue. I mean, it really, unless they expose something really, really big, I think Andy Cohen and the rest of the Bravo team will stay silent until the reunion because they want to draw people into watching the season. They want to draw people into watching those 2 to 3 episode reunions. So I think that's when we're going to hear what he's going to say. And I think the casting changes is going to probably really show how he feels about this situation, because Bravo know this is a problem with these troll farms and these housewives befriending fans, and you've got these bloggers and people wanting to be these housewives' gay best friend, and it doesn't work. And Bravo are trying to put a stop to it, and by getting rid of people like Teresa, this is what, and that's what Andy needs to do. He needs to set the example. He needs to make it abundantly clear. No, you do not befriend bloggers. You do not expose episodes, storylines.
It leads to
if
drama.
You want to have longevity here.
I hate to say this because you guys know I've loved Teresa for years and Jennifer Aiden. They must be fired, and we have to stay on them. You can't do stuff like this. You're bullying people. You are being underhanded and greedy, and that's not fun to watch. Go ahead, Perry.
No, I mean, they're becoming real childish, right? Like, just anything, instead of just being your natural self, doing what you do, they go out there and nobody's seeing the real people, because all of them got these egos. They're using these shows to step up and make all this money and stuff. But I don't even think changing the cast at this point will really work, because I think these reality shows as a whole, you don't see the storyline, the scripted stuff or whatnot. And I don't think they'll ever be the same, because the new people that's going to come in, say if you got rid of the whole cast and bring in another one, they don't seem what the other ones did to succeed. They'll do the same thing. But by the time they shoot these shows, in between time, these people can't stay quiet enough to let the episodes play out. Because when they film something, they don't show it for a couple months or whatever. These people can't stay off social media.
All right. I'm going to go into Love and Marriage Huntsville after Freddie goes into housewife news. This is terrible. I feel disappointed, and I'm not going to watch.
I mean, I want to watch to see what happens. I think it's very interesting, and you know, it has been clear for a while that people have, you know, there have been signs of this, and the fact it's all being exposed really does put dampeners on this show. And maybe, but allegedly as well, Jim Leonard was also behind Teresa trying to become friends again with Jacqueline Loretta and Kim D, supposedly.
I'm done. I'm done with the Real Housewives of New Jersey. I think it's disgusting. Just like I was done with Beverly Hills. And I know Andy Cohen, this is not his fault, because these stars created this mess themselves, but it just is just disgusting. And Love and Marriage Huntsville is 10 times worse. Anyway, what else? Housewife news. Oh my God.
Oh, Mauricio. We need to move on to him because he's moved out. He's moved out of their Encino house, and he has he's bought a new place. So he's bought a house in this new development in West Hollywood called 8899 Beverly Boulevard. And it's in the same building that Matt Damon recently spent just over $8.5 million on a condo. Now, from what I've heard, Mauricio allegedly bought the $5.63 million condo, and it's two bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, and 2,857 square foot.
Now, Perry, I'm just going to ask you. We've hated Kyle for years. Do you feel a little bad for her?
No. I mean, I okay. I feel bad for anybody that's in a relationship and wanting to keep it and then get dismissed. But she should have seen it, and she knew who she was married to. This ain't the first time he decided to want to go on a freak fest. She can overlook it, do all that stuff, and then how he's stealing somebody's real estate business and all this stuff. I mean, so I'm just saying she stood by and let him go rogue, right? So when she should have just said something to him, a lot of crazy stuff he done did. But I'm just saying, no, I don't feel sorry for her, and I just don't. I don't feel sorry for her. I think she'll be okay.
You know, I think Kyle was very happy to put up with it, to live in the lap of luxury, to live in the house she wanted, to buy Birkins and drive Range Rovers and stuff. And I think now that Housewives pays her over $2 million a year, Mo's made a lot of money.
That's how much money that Kyle is making, over $2 million a year?
Yeah, she's now the highest paid housewife now they fired Candy.
Well, when they're going to get rid of Kyle? Like, you got rid of Nene,
I don't know,
you got rid of Candy.
Andy loves Kyle for some reason, as do the Evolution guys, Alex Baskin, as Alex Baskin as well. So
but they're paying her all this money, Freddie, to do nothing. She didn't talk about the divorce this season.
I agree. And supposedly Kyle has been given an ultimatum that if she doesn't talk about the divorce, she doesn't talk about what went on with Morgan and Wade, they're seriously going to have to either stop her from being a housewife or reduce her role in some way, shape, or form. So I don't know whether I believe it, because Bravo just have not been ballsy enough with Kyle, but it does seem that they are getting ballsier by the year now. They're not putting up with the nonsense that they used to. So yeah, let's see. I mean, they've been saying supposedly that Dorit will be made a friend if she doesn't.
I heard that.
Speak out. But what I've heard with Dorit actually is that she will be a housewife, but they're paying her a friend of salary. So they've just massively reduced her salary, but they're keeping her as a housewife.
How rude and disrespectful is that?
Dorit is rubbish. She's boring. And all we do is we just see her overweight husband stuffing his face with pizza in their kitchen. So, I mean,
y'all are wrong.
That's not interesting to me. If I wanted to do that, I'd go to Pizza Hut and see some fat person stuff their face with pizza.
You are messy. Now, really quick, Freddie, we hear that Andy Cohen came out and tried to say that they didn't cancel BravoCon because of him. Do you believe him? He said it was because of booking the events. That's what he blamed it on. Why is Andy lying?
Because Bravo are in a crisis. They are not getting the views that these shows used to.
Right,
if you look at the views for a lot of their shows, they're going down. They're having the issues with all these housewives and stuff like that.
And lawsuits.
Lawsuits against him are definitely a factor. And I think what with BravoCon, I think they're going to wait to see to what the judgments, if Andy is guilty, if they need to get rid of him or not. I think once they've worked that out and that's all settled, then they'll bring back BravoCon. But I think that's the big factor. And that they need to reboot and they need to do, to do open heart surgery with a lot of these
Perry, let me ask you. Freddie just said that reality TV shows as a whole, the numbers are going down. Can Andy save his network or his?
Oh, no, I mean, look, it's like this. You can make a hit song and go to number one. People enjoy it. After a while, it runs its course. Basically, what I'm trying to say, change the cast, to me, don't change anything. They still gonna put the same people in a new role, and they gonna emulate the people that was before them, right? I think the interest for the shows has run its course.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's nothing that you can do.
But then what are we gonna watch? They're all gone.
That's the thing.
Well, I think the adventure shows are more. I think the adventure shows are sort of where it's like things like The Traitors. I mean, in the UK, that's doing really well. I've been hearing that apparently in America they want to do so. Like our Traitors in the UK is like it's a non-celebrity one, so they cast members of the public. Apparently, that's what they want to do in America. And then they have the celebrity one as well. And then in the UK, apparently, we're looking at doing what they do in America and having like a celebrity one. So
I feel
The Traitors is becoming it's an international franchise, like Housewives now as well. You've got Love Island, which is still big. Too Hot to Handle, that seems to be taking off. And then a lot of people, the real estate shows like Mauricio's buying Beverly Hills, that's doing well. Netflix are also making a Buying London as well. So that type of format, I think, is where reality TV is heading.
And we just need some new stars. Like, I'm tired of these stars. Very much so.
I don't know what we're going to watch, Sherelle and Freddie, but I don't give a damn. I'm just saying this. At this point, these housewives, they need to get rid of the shows because they're sinking. It's not, or either they just reduce the pay and then we'll watch them here and there. But at this point, let them go. They don't ran its course. I don't think they can do no better than this. They don't have plenty of success over 10 years, a lot of them. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So it's done. It's played out. So let these wives go home and be real housewives and get the hell off my screen. How about that?
Something is wrong with you, Perry. All right, let me go into Love and Marriage Huntsville. Freddie. Freddie, what have you been hearing about Love and Marriage Huntsville? Because you haven't watched it, but what have you heard? Like, have you been watching
Good question. So I've heard that there are these melometers that are these weird, obsessed loner type people that have severe issues, apparently. And I don't care who they are.
They have some in England too, I think.
I'm sure there are. I'm sure there are. And good for them. If they want to follow some weird nut job, that's their prerogative.
All right. So Love and Marriage Huntsville was Carlos King's first reality show. And it was good at first. But as the star became bigger, her name is Meldody Holt.
I thought you meant Carlos King because he thinks he's the star of everything.
Well, no. So let me tell you what Carlos King is going through, because he used to be at ROA, fired, quit. I don't even care anymore. He's not there. He went to start his own network, and the show was really good. It was a big hit. I believe when Melanie created these millimeters, it started spinning out of control. As a result, Martell Holt, as of what I would say the last couple of weeks, as they're being exposed for the dirt that they're doing, everything has backfired on Meldody. The entire cast hates her. Now, I know that Bravo has a policy that if the other housewives won't film with you, that leaves Andy Cohen no choice but to fire you. I don't even think Carlos King has been in this kind of situation before. He's not. At least Andy's trying to do something about these hate groups, because that's what they do. That's what they are. They're hired to ruin different people's reputation. So, but it's out now. The network is on a Meldody. No cast member likes her, according to what I'm hearing. And people are starting to feel sorry for Martell, as in other networks. And there's going to be plenty of opportunities coming his way, because now he's been exposed. And these millimeters are horrible. They got that weirdo after me. They'll come in your chat. They're saying they're boycotting Love and Marriage Huntsville, and they're going to watch it on Patreon. Like no one's going to go over there and watch it. I mean, These people are very hateful people, all ran by Meldody. One of the other girls, a blogger, actually went live with her, tying herself to the situation. It's insane. It's out of control. They're bullying Carlos King and anybody that has anything nice to say about Martell. And now people are calling them nut jobs. And this is what Carlos King has been going through for quite some time now. I would say the last 2 years. Mm-hmm. He can't control her. She's out of control.
But this is his own fault, in my opinion.
Well, why everybody's saying that? Why are you saying that?
It's his fault because he wasn't the boss. He didn't take control of the situation. He allowed them to do what they wanted. And he's busy trying to be the gay best friend of people like Teresa Giudice, doing tours with her, trying to be mates with Heavenly and stuff like that. I think he's actually got maybe a role in, peddling Teresa Giudice stuff. But that's another thing. He's
awfully close to Teresa. He's close to
he's very close with Teresa, and they went on tour. She came and did
what tour?
He do some like speaking tour where he tries to be a comedian or something like that, and he tries to talk Bravo. But this is what I mean. He's busy doing all of those things, so he's not concentrating on what's happening on his show, how he can make it better. So it allows these people like Meldody to run riot and do what they want, to cause problems and make it out of control. I don't think Carlos King's really doing. I think it's own network that are the people who ever work there are the ones doing it.
Yeah,
I think Carlos has given up with Love and Married Huntsville because he knows it's not going anywhere, and because he wasn't the person, he wasn't there to manage it properly and to make it a success. Right. So he's busy trying to become a blogger now.
Well, I think now that it's out, he's going to try to do something about it, because they were dragging him. They were attacking him, the producer of the show. These women are out of control. And just like Maurice said in his lawsuit, they have to hate every week, find somebody to hate. They've gone after Funky Dineva. They've gone after me. They've gone after DJ Richie. They go after the big blogs because they don't want us to expose what's going on. She's, in my opinion, know you guys might love her. She's horrible. It's just as bad as Teresa's doing it, as Lisa Rinna doing it. Like, you cannot. I don't even know why they do it. They don't want to look bad. It's horrible. It's worse for OWN Network. This has spun off in numerous lawsuits, but it's backfiring on Meldody, because now, I hate to say this, we've been on for a long time, and a lot of producers in production watch this show. And I feel like it was me and Perry, and even you, Freddie, that exposed the troll farms, the people that use them, the millimeters, because the millimeters are 10 times worse. They will do anything. And if you ask any of them, what does Sherelle say to make Meldody mad? They cannot answer the question.
But the big thing is that OWN Network and Carlos haven't really had policies on these types of behaviors that you would have on the bigger networks or in a company. And that's the big problem. So this has been a very new thing to OWN, and they've sort of had to work out what they're going to do with it. Unfortunately, because they've allowed it to go on for so long, they don't really know what to do. But from what I'm hearing about Martell is whether Love and Married Huntsville still exists or not. Apparently, he's in demand. And a lot of networks are interested in him, allegedly.
Freddie, don't say it. I don't want to mess things up for him.
Oh, no, I'm not. I'm just saying in general that, people are interested in him.
Yeah, I think exposing what was going on, and it's been going on so long, I think it did the reverse for Meldody. I think people start feeling bad for Martell. Like, you had to go through this for years, and it's just a mess. Perry, what are your thoughts on the situation?
Well, I just feel like this. Coming in when the show first started, people had the right to look at Mel as the victim. Okay, but some victims duplicate what happened to them. Now, I just feel like later on, instead of moving on, now she's wanting to over-punish Martell, because most people was on her side. Oh, that cheater, this and that. Yeah, everybody know he cheated. He did this stuff. But it don't make her actions right at this point. She should be more mature than that, I would think. And let's move on.
I don't know what's wrong with Meldody, but she is totally behind all of this. And I think that she thought she was going to drag Martell another year. And to find out that not one person on the cast likes her, I was totally shocked. And then I think it was Marcel went on yesterday saying that he hates the millimeters. He said it. Like, he was like, I don't think people are hiding it anymore. I think the hate group that she formed is really backfiring on her right now.
Well, it sounds like it. I mean, in a way, I see them trying to support her the way they think they should. Like, oh, we're gonna what's the word they use? They're gonna block out the show, huh?
They're calling it a blackout. I don't know how this is supposed to help her.
A blackout, if the show isn't being publicized and people talking about it, then what is that gonna do for the show? It's gonna go down in the dumps. It's gonna crash along with Melanie. So they ain't doing her no favor. It's not like she's no damn Diana Ross. And this show go down, everybody gonna be calling her number. I mean, people can find a whole lot of other women out there that's cute with less kids. No offense.
Donna, what has she done? She has formed a hate group to go after anybody that she doesn't like. And also, she did it to the cast members. This is why they don't like her, I'm being told. I know that she sent that stalker over into my chat and got him all amped up. She just doesn't want to be anybody to say anything bad about her. And then her main goal is to make Martell look as bad as she can make him look. And it just backfired because he really didn't say anything until we came out first. We were like, this isn't right. Something's wrong with you, that you are over punishing this man. And it's just sad. And she needs to be fired. If you ask me, I don't know what Carlos is going to do. He's amped up about the attention that the show's getting, but it's negative attention. So maybe they'll do what Freddie says. Maybe Carlos will confront it at the reunion, but this needs to stop. You can't go around town bullying people that because you can. And she takes weak-minded women that have been through the same experience as her. Like, we hate men. My man did this. My man did that. And now they feel like a unit. But when you go after people for having an opinion, something's wrong with your ass. Okay?
But I think Carlos thinks it's a good thing because he's one of these people that go with the mantra of bad publicity is good publicity. And yeah, that works to a certain degree of things, but at the end of the day, you're still not getting the views. So that's what a network's going to determine. They don't care if it's being talked about in the blogs. They care that people are actually tuning in and watching this show, and that companies who want to advertise are paying them a lot of money because it's a hot show to advertise your product or service on.
Jay says, the same old formulas for all the Housewives shows are tired and played out. Come up with ideas for other shows. It's in demand. Everybody can't take it anymore. We just can't take it. And now that they're up in the ante and forming these hate groups to go around and ruin other people, that's not fun to watch. I like to see real emotion, somebody going through a real problem. And so it's it's a hot mess at 1100. Love and Marriage Huntsville. Now, let me talk about this lawsuit really quick. So the MeloNUTS are suing each other, and one of the girls, what's the name of the channel, Perry?
Well, the girl, I can't remember, but like Carlos.
Tea Time with Your Girl.
Yeah, like Carlos was.
They're all suing each other.
The girls are fighting. The girls are fighting.
No, we're not going to do that anymore. Pia, she said, when are you going to do? We're not going to do Carlos like that. But anyway, so one of the girls, Tea Time with Your Girl, I think that's it, lost by default, and she had a $10 million judgment on her, right? And so now she wants to write to the judge. Now, I don't think you understand. And she's been listening. She's been listening because she put in this letter everything that I said. She left a major part out. Let me tell you why this. I'm going to read your letter in a minute. Let me tell you why this isn't going to work. You already have a judgment. So you let it get that far. You have to get an attorney now. I'm going to read your letter. I see where you were trying to go. And I shouldn't even be nice to her because she's another one that kept doing videos about me. But this is rambling to a judge, and it doesn't make much sense. You have to get an attorney. Now, Freddie, you're good with lawsuits.
I love lawsuits.
I know you do. I'm going to read this letter to you, and then you tell me if this is going to face the judge, because the judge is already upset because you didn't show up and you lost by default. They take that very seriously. Like, judges are very strict. I remember one time Perry went to court wearing no sleeves. Oh God, he read you the riot act, remember?
Yeah.
So let me read this. This is what she's saying. I don't even know if I could show this because I didn't get a chance to redact it. So let me just read it. Huh?
I said, don't show it.
I don't want to get all that. So she says to the judge, please consider, this is my answer response. You're past answer response. You have a judgment. I think a lot of these MeloNUTS are bullies, and they don't understand how business works. Like,
they don't understand how business works. They don't understand how the law works, and they don't understand if you were past the deadline, you don't just get given an extension because you're Meldody I like to bully people on the internet, Holt.
It's crazy. They don't understand. Once you get a judgment, that's just what it is. You have to get an attorney, sweetheart. Please. You're not going to win this on your own. She says, please consider my answer response to the summons that was received at my home address March 30th, 2024. It appears I am being named as a defendant and nothing. Let me keep reading. As a defendant in the case listed above. She says her real name. She says, I am really confused about being a defendant in this case when the plaintiff did an illegal background. Okay. First of all, it's really hard to read. I wish I could show you guys because it looks like, let me see if I can show you this part. Make sure her name is on here. It's blurry. It's very blurry. It's not professional at all. It's not on letterhead. Anyway, she's basically asking the judge to how is this possible that this happened? And because the lawsuit is frivolous. And then she goes into, and I'm going to countersue. This letter is not going to work. No judge is going to read this. You left a lot out. When you countersue somebody, you have to state the reason that you're countersuing them. And you have to list statutes, and you need an attorney, or this $10 million is going to remain over your head. And I'm being nice to you by telling you this information because you're about as old as I am. You're supposed to know these things. Freddie, isn't a letter supposed to be written up a certain way with statutes to support your claims? You just can't go in there and say, and I'm going to sue you too.
Well, I mean, there is a certain standard how these things should be done. Now, obviously, law in the UK is different to the US, and in the US, there's state law per state, of course. So I don't know how in her state exactly how it works. But what I would suspect is that there is a certain form and protocol that you've got to abide by, and that's the law, that's the rules, and nobody is more special than, you know, Joe down the street.
Right.
I mean, these millimeters, they don't have any common sense. They do all this craziness. They're built off of hate. Anything built off of hate doesn't last. So that's gonna break up eventually anyway. But all these people are going to have these $10 million lawsuits hanging over their heads. It's like a group of teenage girls that want to bully people. Harry, you know a lot about the law. You got to write. It's not even written up in the regular protocol. This is like a letter that I might write to Freddie.
I mean, this part where I don't see, okay, if she's been in default. Nothing explained why she in default, but she come back and say she don't address. She said, well, I don't know why my name is in there anyway, because maybe you should have responded before you went into default. I'm just simply saying, I mean, that's the whole thing. Now, countersuing, yes, you get the right to do that, but I just feel like if you're going to do that, don't tie the two together. The whole thing is you need to just show up for the default hearing and fight the default hearing as far as the judgment, how much you're gonna have to pay and all that stuff, right?
She has to go to legal aid. This is not professional.
Does she even have an attorney to be helping her? Because if she had an attorney, you'd think the attorney would be giving her a lot better advice on what's what.
Well, she doesn't have an attorney. That's what I'm saying. You cannot show up without an attorney. You have to have
Carlos really just doesn't care about her, and nor does narcissistic Oprah either, evidently, because they would maybe get involved or give some advice, but evidently they're not. So
it's insane. All of this is crazy. Y'all are crazy, and it all needs to stop. And you're the worst. Here for come tea with your girl. Yours is the worst because you actually have a judgment. You can't countersue. You have a judgment. You have to sue.
Right. I mean, look, the whole thing is this, and I think Tiffany posted up there. She should have responded before the default. That's that. Now she's got to go to the judgment hearing or whatever. But to countersue, don't just write a letter. You know, I don't know why my name. It wasn't really my name. but I'm included. But I'm gonna countersue. Don't be writing it down. Just counter sue. Go ahead and sue. Sue, and they'll get the papers. They'll know why you're suing. Don't just like I'm gonna do it. Take action. You got to take some kind of action.
You have to sue at this point. You can't countersue. That case has already been dealt with and went in front of a judge. Let me see if I could just show them really quickly how this looks, because people are asking to look. Let's make sure I got everything covered. Hold on. Because you guys are this is unbelievable. You can't submit something like this to a judge. You have to treat a judge like he's your ruler, and you have to be very respectful and follow his rules. Let me see. Hold on. I found another.
Whereas she's written a letter as if someone's tree has sort of grown in her backyard, and it's like, can you please?
It's just not professional at all. Let me make sure I've covered.
It's almost like somebody writing a letter that's just venting. You know what I'm saying?
Like, it's just not going to work. And I have nothing against you. Matter of fact, I have every right to not like you because of the things you've been saying about me. But I feel bad for you because you just muck this up. And so,
I mean, Meldody was the type of person when she was a child that probably always said when she came to school each day, you know, the dog ate my homework.
But I think you just gave the best advice earlier, Sherelle. Look, the whole thing is this. You know, we can go tit for tat on our opinions. And it's okay for them to have those opinions for mailingly, but don't come at people who got a different opinion. But
I've never heard of
it. She gave her was this: get an attorney when things get this bad.
It's bad.
Get an attorney that know what they're doing, right? Because she still could fight the default. You know, like when she go to judgment,
it has to be a whole new lawsuit now.
Well, okay, wait, no, okay, she may have a judgment, but at the judgment hearing, she still can fight the amount, and maybe you know, because that other person still got to prove what kind of damages.
But Perry, you read that letter. How is she gonna fight and she doesn't even know what she's doing?
No, Sherelle, I said get an attorney.
Okay.
But how's she going to pay $10 million when she evidently doesn't have $10 million? Similar to that blogger that was sued by Nicki Minaj. Like, how do these people pay this money when they've never had this type of money in the first place? Like in the UK, how it would work is they look at what money you've got, and then they'll take everything you have. But they're not going to say, yeah, you're sued for 10 million if you don't have money or assets worth 10 million.
All right, let me show you guys this letter. I just want you to see how poorly it was written. And I'm not trying to drag you, Miss. I'm just saying this is never going to work. If anything, I'm giving you really good advice. Do not step into court without your attorney. It's just not going to work. So you can't
pay you, Sherelle.
Huh?
She should pay you to.
Well, I'm just trying to help these people. Like, it's crazy. I don't know if you could see. Can you see? Do you see my cursor, Freddie?
Yeah.
Do you see how it's like doubles? It just. Can you read that line?
No, I mean it's like she's copied and pasted it, and then.
Oh, is that what she did?
It's like she's gone on to Google, and someone said this earlier on in the comments about like she's probably gone on to Google, found out how to sort of do something, write a letter probably, as that woman doesn't really know what she's doing half the time anyway. So she's done that, and then I don't know, it's like she's accidentally copied something on top of another word or another 3 words. So it makes no sense. But you'd think she'd have made the effort to proofread the letter and edit it. You know, this wasn't handwritten. You know, you can edit things on a computer. There is something called backspace. I mean, I don't know what computer she's got.
Please don't make me laugh. I'm trying to help her out. You're never gonna win without an attorney. You must get an attorney. If you can't afford one, go to legal aid. You have to go to legal aid. This is not going to fly, ma'am.
She's not going to do that because she doesn't even know what a backspace on a keyboard is.
And Freddie, what would you do if you had a $10 million judgment and you couldn't afford an attorney?
I wouldn't be stupid enough to have one against me in the first place, and I'd probably pick up the phone and get it sorted. That's what I'd do.
Harry, what would you do if you were this?
Well, you know, what I would do is after being found in the default, I would take it more seriously. at this point. I'm just saying because some people you think, oh, nothing's gonna happen.
What if it's a financial problem?
Well, hell, getting that judgment is gonna be a financial problem. You get to fight it. I'm just saying, sometimes you get to fight things, even if whether you got the money or not. You get to find a way, and it can be.
How do you find a way when you have no money? I'm just testing you guys' skills.
I don't know how much money she got. I don't know whatever. I mean, I'm just saying the only way she's gonna get out of it is basically, in my opinion, is getting some type of attorney to straighten this stuff out. She let it go too long.
Now, I have heard that she came out and said she will not be covering Love and Marriage Huntsville anymore. I can't guarantee that. That's just what somebody told me. I think that's smart, and you need to stay far away from the MeloNUTS. Stay away from them because they're brainwashed right now, and all they want to do is stand up for Mel, even if it puts their own life through hell. Their real life. So it's
like the ex-Trey stumps.
Oh no, Toria said legal aid don't deal with defamation cases. I hope that's not
interesting.
Shit, I don't know.
Wow.
But I mean, have y'all went this little off base for a second? What the millimeters gonna do when Mel is no longer popular and on TV?
Well, listen, they're really not thinking of the future. They have put Meldody in a situation, and I said this to them earlier, and they do not listen. I said, what you guys are doing by attacking anyone that says anything bad about Mel, you're messing up her career. No one's going to want to work with Meldody. That's a headache. Lawsuits. You go on, you're dragging this cast member, and it's hate speech. And YouTube's not going to put up with it. So they don't want to listen. They're like a gang right now, and they want to impress each other, and it's just bad. And
exactly.
Eventually, Carlos, you're going to have to crack down on this. Just like Andy Cohen, you have to put some rules in place that this can never happen again, that your cast member goes out and creates a hate group. It's insane.
I mean, look at Brandy Glanville. She lost a lot of jobs and still not really employable. And she's been cleared for, she didn't sexually assault mobster Manzo. So look at her.
This is what I want to say to
Melanie is doing things that she knows that is bad. Like no one is, like if Brandy's not being touched and she's been found innocent, Melanie's definitely not going to be with now being found guilty of these things. If I were Melanie, what I would do is I'd stay off the internet entirely. Don't talk to anyone that's not your family. And you need to
What she needs to do, seriously. She needs to come out and tell her millimeters, this behavior has to stop. I do not condone this. I do not condone bullying. Because if not, everyone's looking at you like, look at what mess she's got going over there. Right. You have to stop hating Martell and realize that's your baby daddy. And when you make him look bad, you make all y'all look bad. It's just a headache over there. And it's sad that it's gotten to this, but your name is Mud, Meldody.
But I think no one's going to want to work with you. They're so unhinged, these millimeters. It's like a car going down a hill with no brakes or handbrake. Yeah. It's impossible to stop now. And that there is going to be this big crash, an explosion. And these people are so unhinged. I don't think Meldody would be able to stop them, even if she did say,
And the worst part is YouTube is on to what's going on. Like they know, okay, they're sending these people to this chat. And if you read the chat, oh my God, I'm just covering what's going on. This is a disaster that's going to get worse because nobody except the millimeters is on Mellody's side anymore because this is just despicable behavior.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, because I think like it was okay to be a fan of Melody in the show, but what ended up happening, they fell so deeply in love with Mel and threw everybody on the cast away. And then, just in my opinion, Mel got an ego and she was running things, and she was. And now it's to the point where they go out to everybody else and put Mel on this big pedestal. And nobody's in the chat or this panel saying she wasn't done wrong by Martell. That's an old story.
That don't even matter anymore. The way she's acting.
That's an old story. That was years ago. But we talking about the way she's moving today, the things she's doing to this man. You know what I'm saying? At a certain point, nobody's telling you to live with him. Just move away. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Just move away. Yeah, that's a mess. But it really worked out good for Martell, and it's about time, Martell. I'm sorry what you've been through, and this is crazy. And they think that she's gonna sue him for revenge. That is read the documents. It's crazy. But anyway, Felicia said they will attach all assets, paychecks, house, bank accounts, and credit report will be shot. What she's saying is when you get a judgment and you just think, so what? No, it's going to affect your life. You cannot buy anything else, a home, anything. They start putting liens on your houses. If you own property, paychecks, they'll garnish your paycheck. A judgment is one of the worst things to have. So you have to get an attorney. All of you guys that are all 11, you have to get an attorney. You can't fight this by yourself anymore.
Right. And to answer your question, I don't know. I mean, the bottom line is this. At this point, I would suggest, like you said, she truly needs a damn attorney.
She does.
How's she gonna pay for it? You asked me that question. I don't know.
She could sell lemonade on the street.
I mean, if maybe Mel can have an event to help pay for it. Maybe if they had that what is it? GoFundMe.
Yeah, open a GoFundMe. You need some help.
Maybe that money, but I'm just saying she gonna need an attorney. I mean, because if you let it go, it's gonna get worse and worse.
Bonji says Meldody doesn't ever take responsibility for anything, and it's never her fault. Freddie, you live in England, but you know a lot of lawyers over here. Ronald, all of Michael Sauls. What would you do? Well, it's different if you didn't have any money and you have a judgment. Let the audience know how that's gonna stay over your head forever. It does not go away. You cannot write it off in bankruptcy.
Well, for a start, I'd be at least trying to play it smart, unlike Meldody. I would be researching into what's what, how to be writing my own judgments and things like that. See if you can maybe get someone on pro bono to give you legal advice.
That's a good idea.
Seek the free anything. But I think, when it comes to writing letters, when it comes to understanding, she needs to be educating herself on what the state law in her area is. What are the go-go's that will work in her favor? What is she not doing that's going to put her out of favor? She needs to be doing her research. And if you're not someone like Oprah, who's got loads of money, she can afford to have a whole legal team. Mellody's not in that bracket of where she can afford to have a whole powerhouse legal team. And when you're in a position when you can't afford to get a power of top legal people, you've got to be putting the work in yourself.
One more. Go get a lawyer, lady, period. If you don't, they will take your taxes. I forgot about that. And garnish your paychecks. This is bad news. And if you are one of the 11 defendants on this lawsuit, there's only 2 people that responded. Anthony Lofty, he did it the right way. And they tried to make fun of him on another channel. Oh, he didn't even have an attorney. Dude, girl, he did it smart. And then this lady right here, but after the judgment.
Why have I heard of Anthony Lofty?
He's a friend of mine. No, okay. And there's other stuff. Don't say it. Anyway, okay. So we're trying to help you guys. I'm trying to be fair over here, but I have to report both ends. I can't just say that Mellody's the best and then close my eyes to what's going on. I'm just telling you guys what is going on. And I'm also trying to help the people that are being sued. It's crazy when you get sued over a TV show. Now you owe somebody $10 million because a Meldody and you wanted to stand. It's crazy because, like I said before, young lady, when you go to court, no one's going to be by your side. So y'all letting this group amp y'all up. Yay, let's get them. And then the only person that's trying to help you is some blogger just realizing you didn't got yourself in so deep. You can't get out of this.
Right.
It's sad.
But I think us 3 have done our charity today by giving legal advice to someone in need. So I think we can all give ourselves a pat on the back for that.
I'm just saying what I would do. It's not legal advice. You could take it or leave it. I'm not an attorney, but I wouldn't step in there without a damn lawyer. I would not.
No, I wouldn't either.
And we ain't
and you got to learn your legal terms. I mean, it's just not going to hold up in court against a judgment hearing. No, they're going to mop the floor with you if you don't get more professional and try to at least talk to somebody to know what you're doing. Right. All right. Any last words, Perry?
Not like we telling them to do something that we won't do. That's why we got attorneys, because we don't know it all. You know what I'm saying? Now we do this, but we smart enough to know certain shit. If you don't understand it and know how to proceed with it, that's what your attorneys do.
And stay away from the millimeters. They're getting more lawsuits allegedly. Stay away from them. Don't get a part of that, because then you can have more than one judgment. You know, it's crazy. Yeah. Freddie, what are your last words after finding out all we found out today about these greedy?
Wow, yeah, there's a lot to say. I think Meldody needs to start finding the information and doing her research on legal,
not Meldody, legal, the girl that's been sued.
What are the courtesies? What are the rules? You know, speaking to as many people as she can on pro bono, I think, is another good thing to her. Teresa and Jennifer, complete car crash. Yeah, I mean, I think as I said, I think Bravo are going to stay silent until the reunion, unless some bombshell comes out. But I think the reunion, a lot's going to happen. As for Kyle Richards, I think she's going to give in. I think this is going to be the season where Kyle, now that Mauricio's bought this West Hollywood condo, I've got a feeling that means the fact he's bought it rather than rented it suggests the marriage is over and that there are plans to get divorced. And I believe that they're waiting for this upcoming season that they're going to film for Beverly Hills, which apparently starts in a couple of weeks now. I think this season they're going to announce that they're getting divorced. And I think Kyle's going to talk about Morgan. And it wouldn't surprise me if they pay Kyle more money for just one more season and then she goes.
Then she goes.
And I say Kyle go out with a bang. That man obviously don't want you no more. I don't need to tell you that. He done brought her down place. Let him go and get his freak on over there, but shake it up. Don't let him go easy.
No, some women are scared to speak up for themselves.
I know, but I'm trying to tell her his ass to kick rocks. Dismiss him doing the show. You got a storyline. And then as he walk out the door, you know who should walk in? Morgan.
I think there's 2 flats for him and Dorit.
Let me say this really quickly before I go. Yeah. You guys won't believe how many phone calls and DMs I'm getting about Meldody. She did a lot of bad things to a lot of people. Katie says, Sherelle, you ain't lying. I personally know people Meldody tried to get to do her dirty work. It's a lot of people. This is going to last way past the show. Right. And people, you know, when you do people wrong, they don't forget. So I don't know what's going to happen to Meldody. I think she should be fired. And I think that Carlos King should fire anybody that creates hate groups or uses troll farms and all of this nonsense. You need to fire them. But maybe he will. We don't know. All right, you guys. Thank you for listening. We try to get Freddie on again this week or whenever you can when you get some good news, because I'm scared to have Freddie on because he's going to come back.
Well, on Monday's bank holiday here in the UK, so
you can do it on Monday. But I'm scared of what you're going to say when you come back. You're going to say this person uses a troll farm, and this person. I'm scared of what you're going to say.
I mean, the difference with me though is I have my evidence of people. Why do you think I've never been sued by anyone? Because I look at legal documents. I look at evidence before I say.
He loves the law. Yeah. He loves the law. You should have been a lawyer.
Look at PK. He thought, he could sue. But I looked at legal documents that proved he was lying.
He did. All right, you guys, leave your thoughts in the comment section. Please be kind. I don't want any bullying or craziness. Be kind. And if you do bully, I'm going to delete it. Or Perry is. He's the one that does it. Right, Perry?
For sure.
All right, take us out.
Fuck this shit.
Fuck this shit, people. We are out.
This shit,
See you later.